This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
Right now at 10, this Memorial Day weekend, Airbnb says it's cracking down on parties at its short-term rentals in St. Louis. Good evening. Thank you for being here. I'm Ann Allred. Tonight, St. Louis residents say those short-term rentals are big contributors to violence in downtown, but some of them are hard to track. Tonight, our 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski talked with both residents and Airbnb and explains what they want done with these nuisance rentals. Laura?
And residents tell me they're so tired of these short-term rentals and the parties they bring that get out of hand and bring shootings and fights. And Airbnb says they don't want them either and are going to work as hard as they can to be part of the solution. This Memorial Day weekend, St. Louis police say there will be extra patrols downtown in hopes of avoiding another violent weekend for the unofficial start to summer.
Enforcing traffic in our violence deterrent detail. They will be in place over this weekend.
Resident David Sosney says once it starts to warm up, they always see more problems downtown.
Whether it's criminal activity or bad behavior, that nice weather seems to attract that. I'm a little bit concerned about it, and I don't like to see it.
Downtown residents say short-term rentals and the parties they attract are the biggest contributors.
Some of the units, whether they're condos or apartments, they've allowed people to be here short-term. They don't have the best interests of the neighborhood, and as a result, we have problems down here.
While some of these problem properties are not affiliated with short-term rental apps, Airbnb says it's increasing its efforts over the holiday weekend to stop unauthorized parties by flagging possible high-risk reservations.
If I have a brand new account, just started up yesterday, and I live in St. Louis, and all of a sudden I'm trying to book a 4-bedroom home downtown for one night on the Saturday Memorial Day. That's the type of reservation where the system is going to perk up a bit and it's going to say, you know what, that seems a little high risk.
The St. Louis Board of Aldermen are considering a bill right now that would require a permit for people to operate short-term rentals. Sosney says he wants the city to take action and commit to making downtown safer.
And this is the view we give to the world. And unless you clean this up, we will have this problem, this perception problem that will exist forever and ever.
Airbnb says they have resources online for both hosts and their neighbors to report these kinds of parties. You can call or submit a comment online. We'll have links to that on ksdk.com. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Developing tonight, police say a woman was shot during a suspected road rage incident in St. Charles County. It happened just before 6 o'clock on westbound 364 near Harvester Road. Police say the victim was shot in her arm and taken to the hospital. A suspect has not been identified. Also developing tonight, a teenager was injured in a shooting in South St. Louis. This was around 7:15 near Michigan Avenue and Mott Street in the Carondelet neighborhood. Police say the 15-year-old boy was shot multiple times but is said to be conscious and breathing. No word on any suspects tonight. Right now, investigators are on the hunt for 2 men who came to a North City auto repair shop, beat up a man, and took off with a car. New tonight, the victim and the owner of that shop are only speaking with 5 on your side's Brent Solomon.
Beaten and bruised.
It was thoroughly off.
The 48-year-old will only identify as T. Can't believe what happened to him.
You can't just go around King Konging people.
He's a familiar face here at the Road Auto Service Shop off of Hall Street and Blaze Avenue in the Baden neighborhood.
I'm a guard dog. I watch the place.
He was here Thursday when 2 men came in and noticed a car they brought here to be repaired somehow had been damaged. T isn't on the payroll, but staff and owners look out for him, sometimes giving him a place to lay his head. The angry customers could care less.
These guys come up to me. What happened to my car? It's like, you're the only one here. I was like, man, what are you talking about? I didn't know.
They beat him to the ground and took off with the cash in his pocket.
I worked my off for this money.
It happened in broad daylight just before 1 in the afternoon. The victim tells me it could have been a whole lot worse.
He didn't shoot me. He could have shot me. I could be dead.
They beat these guys. It's not fair. He got nothing to do with the cars. He got nothing to do with the situation.
The property owner tells me he leases this space to someone who works on cars and stores products here. The angry customers decided to take off with the mechanic's car, a maroon Dodge Charger, and the Chevy Equinox they arrived in.
I am thinking about next week to just put some new locks and put these guys out and close it, because it's not worth it. The business like this is not worth it.
I don't have a pistol, I don't have a knife, and they know this, man.
T considers himself lucky to be alive.
I'll forgive them, but I need my money back. It's all the money I had saved up. I was saving it up to do things.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The car that the suspects complained about is still at the business tonight. Police are investigating this as a robbery and burglary case. Tonight, an area police department is cracking down on expired temporary tags. Drivers get them when they buy a car in Missouri and don't pay the sales tax to get permanent plates. This week, the Ferguson Police Department said it's stepping up enforcement on the issue, dubbing it Temp Tag Tuesdays. Chief Troy Doyle says not everyone who gets pulled over will be ticketed. He's encouraging officers to use their discretion and issue warnings.
There are some egregious violations out there where I've seen expired temporary tags that go all the way back to 2019.
I have to pay taxes. I have to pay insurance. I'm legal. So the consequences for your actions.
A bill that would have required car buyers to pay their sales tax and register their cars at purchase did not make it through the legislature this year. A 2021 law made it voluntary for people to pay their taxes and register their vehicles when they buy the car. Tonight, the projected debt ceiling deadline has been extended. The Treasury Secretary says the U.S. will start defaulting on June 5th, 4 days later than previously estimated. Negotiations between House Republicans and the Biden administration will continue into the weekend. They must try to come to an agreement on raising the nation's debt limit, avert default, and cut federal spending. Both sides say they're close to a deal.
We're in the window by which we meet the June 5th deadline. It's not over, we're not done, but we're within the window of being able to perform this, and we have to come to some really tough terms in these closing hours.
In a letter to Congress, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that inaction on raising the borrowing limit would cause severe hardship across the country. It is Memorial Day weekend. Over the coming days, there will be dozens of events and ceremonies taking place all over the country, honoring our fallen service members. We posted a list of local Memorial Day events on KSDK.com. Just look for this story under the As Seen on TV section. Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start of summer, and pools across the country have had issues hiring lifeguards, leading to closures or reduced pool hours. But over at Shaw Park Aquatic Center in Clayton, they are fully staffed. The city outsourced its lifeguards with contracting company Midwest Pool Management. Clayton City officials say it allows people here to focus on activities like swim lessons, fitness classes, and sports leagues.
It's the unofficial start of summer, I guess, and so we're glad to be open and welcome the public and our community to the facility. We are open holidays, weekends, and through the week.
If you're interested in becoming a lifeguard, look for this story on our website. We'll also have information on area pools and hours. The question on everyone's mind tonight, will the weather hold up? Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us with a preview of your Weather First forecast. Scott?
Yeah, it is going to hold up. In fact, it's an unbelievable Memorial Day weekend weather-wise. You couldn't plan it any better. We'll tell you when the warm-up really arrives in just a bit.
Or wounded service members and first responders. The Folds of Honor campaign is underway now through May 30th. You can round up at the register or use Scan to Give coupons at any area Schnucks store. 5 on Your Side is a proud sponsor of the campaign. Just in time for the holiday weekend, Ted Drewes reopened its historic location on South Grand. The frozen custard staple had been closed since 2021 due to staffing shortages. It will be open daily from 2 to 10 p.m. You can also visit the Chippewa location from 11 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Opa! The Greek Festival is back in St. Louis County this weekend. The annual Memorial Day weekend event is taking place at Assumption Greek Orthodox Church in Town and Country. For the first time in 3 years, it's being held in person. They are so excited. We've posted more information about this festival on KSDK.com. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with more on your forecast.
Yes, wasn't it great to see Tracy Hinton out there trying to dance with the Greek dancers earlier
Yes,
today?
and she was slicing the meat for the Euro. I mean, the food looked really good.
Yeah,
There's some
it
Greek
always
coffee that just looked fantastic.
Yes,
I want to go.
indeed. Well, I'll meet you there tomorrow then.
Okay.
It's going to be great weather this weekend. We're talking really nice weather. Beth shared this picture from Lake Wapapello from earlier this week, but notice the clear sky. I really think you've got a nice weekend on the way across most of the area. We'll probably have a few extra clouds into the mix as we head especially into Sunday and Monday at the area lakes, but temperatures are in the 70s for highs on Saturday, Sunday back into the lower 80s, low to mid 80s on Monday, and those water temperatures are coming up into the 70s now. It's a little cool in St. Louis at this point. We've been watching those northeasterly breezes, and we've dropped back to 69 degrees in St. Louis right now. That front stalled out to our west, and that's essentially keeping all of the unsettled weather well away from us. Now, this dry air is pushing in from the Great Lakes through the Ohio Valley into St. Louis. Our dew point at 38 degrees right now. But where did this air come from? Did a little research this afternoon. Over the last 10 days, we tracked that air back, finding the source of it up there in the islands of northern Canada in the Arctic Ocean. Can you believe that? That's where that air was 10 days ago, and now it's here. You have unsettled weather in the southeast. Sure, they'd like to have our air right now. It's going to be a rough coastal scenario playing out there on the beaches. Meanwhile, out west, you have the storms, and we've been watching as some of this moisture is trying to creep a little bit closer to St. Louis. Really doesn't get in here. We're staying with the dry air theme here right into the middle of next week. 77 was our high today. The low was 55. We're at 69 degrees right now. Temperatures tonight, upper 40s to mid 50s, mainly clear skies, light winds. We'll keep that breeze out of the east-northeast again tomorrow. Here are a few clouds, though, especially southern Illinois into southeast Missouri heading into tomorrow afternoon. Bottom line is we're staying dry. We're not going to be able to get rid of this dry air anytime soon. And as we go into tomorrow night, we can expect to see just a few clouds, which means St. Louis City at City Park looking good as Vancouver comes to town, almost like Vancouver weather. 76 degrees is your top temperature, or the temperature at kickoff. Sunday, we're a couple of degrees warmer into the lower 80s. We'll take it a couple more degrees up into the mid 80s on Monday. It is a beautiful, quiet weekend. Your next 10 days, it's conceivable we could go through the next 10 days without a drop of rain. If there will be some scattered showers or thunderstorms, it'll happen as we get a little more humid here later in the week and the next weekend. But the chances still look extremely low. We do climb back into the lower 90s, though, for highs starting on Wednesday.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you for watching 5 on Your Side at 10. Corey Miller is here with 5 on Your Sideline.